So you've got this AI that seems to know pretty much everything on the internet. But have you ever stopped to wonder how it can learn one very specific new skill? Well, today we're going to dive into exactly that. We're talking about LLM fine-tuning. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, that's the big question, right? We have these incredible AI models that have basically swallowed the entire internet. But how do you take all that general knowledge and teach them something super specialized? To get that, we need to understand where these models even begin. See, they don't start out as experts in anything. They start as the ultimate generalists. Okay, picture this, a brilliant new graduate. But this isn't just any grad. They haven't just gone to school. They've literally read every book, every article, every single website. They have this amazing foundation of knowledge about language, about facts, and how to reason. That right there is basically a pre-trained large language model. And all that knowledge isn't just an abstract idea. It's physically stored in a super complex network of connections we call parameters. And we're talking tens of billions of them. That's what gives these models their raw power and their incredible breadth of understanding. But here's the catch. Being a brilliant generalist is great, but the real world, it often needs an expert. So how do we make that leap?
I mean, think about it. What if you don't need someone who knows a little bit about everything, but someone who knows everything about one specific thing? You wouldn't ask a history buff for legal advice, right? Or philosopher to diagnose your flu. You need a specialist.
And that's the core issue here. A pre-trained model might know what a legal contract is, in theory, but it's not going to know the specific jargon, the tone, or the formatting that your law firm uses. It can write an ad, sure, but it won't capture your brand's unique voice without a little extra help. So how do we bridge that gap? Well, the solution is this really elegant process called fine-tuning. You know, the main idea behind fine-tuning is actually pretty simple. All it is just continuing the model's education. We take that brilliant, already trained model and we train it just a little bit more. But this time, we use a very focused, very specialized set of data. Let's go right back to our analogy. Fine-tuning is just like giving that brilliant graduate their very first job. You're not reteaching them how to read or write, of course not. You're teaching them how to be a lawyer or a doctor or a copywriter at your company with your rules.
And the whole process breaks down so nicely into 3 simple steps. First, you start with your generalist, your pre-trained model. Then, you hand it the company training manual. That's your small, specific data set. And what's the result? You get an expert employee, a fine-tuned model that is now a specialist in its field. Simple as that.
Okay, so to really make this stick, let's put these two ideas side by side, pre-training versus fine-tuning. What's the real difference? Just think of it like this. Pre-training is the broad foundational university education, and fine-tuning, that's the focused, hands-on, on-the-job training that makes all that education actually useful for a specific role. This table really lays it all out. During pre-training, the goal is just general knowledge. You use vast amounts of unlabeled data. It's like reading the entire library without any specific assignment. But for fine-tuning, the goal is to specialize, using a much smaller, labeled dataset, kind of like a curated textbook with very specific examples. And just look at the difference in scale. Pre-training costs millions and can take months. Fine-tuning is just a fraction of that, often taking only days or weeks. So, after all that, what is the big deal? What's the payoff here? Why is fine-tuning such a game changer? Oh, the payoff is massive. Fine-tuning lets us create true AI experts for specific fields like medicine or law. It's incredibly efficient. It can learn new skills with way less data, which saves a ton of time and money. Basically, you can take one powerful base model and create a whole team of specialists, where each one is faster and better at its one specific job. And this brings us to one last thought. Now that you get how a generalist AI can become a specialist, well, the possibilities are pretty much endless. So I'll leave you with this question. If you could teach an AI one specialized skill to totally transform your work, or even just your daily life, what would it be? Just think about that for a second.